Alrighty. I think we might be back. I'm going to have to see. Maybe. See, this is what happens when I try new things without actually trying the thing. We'll have to see. I think we should be live, right? I think we're live. Hopefully it's working now. I don't know what was going on. I'm going to check in real quick and see. Hopefully it's going good. This is what happens when you try to do something on the first time without even really trying it out before, right? So this is okay, I see it on my computer here. Yeah, it looks like I'm good. Looks like I'm streaming. Okay, I'm streaming. Okay, I think we're good. Alrighty. Well, we'll see if it works. Who even knows, right? This is what's happening. As I see that my green screen over here is showing a little bit of what does. Pull that back there. There we go. All right, that's what happens. Okay, so back at it, right? All right, trying to figure out some Algebra 1 review. Killed some time. We killed about 20 minutes. Yeah, that's just what happens. But we're going to keep working through. We got through one problem. Computer decided just to die midway, so that's cool. And now we're going to jump right back into it. I had to restart it. We should be good. I think it's time to move on to a different concept for our Algebra 1 review. So for this next part, it says for us to, right, trying to get ready for finals, it says for us to solve some equations. It gives us a little equation. We want to solve for x. This is just some good practice for us to figure out how to solve for x, okay? So hopefully we can do that right. Actually, I'm going to do one thing real quick before I jump in on this because I want to make sure that the stream's working. The YouTube stream died last time, so I'm making sure we're good to go. All right, my question is, what should be the first step here for this equation? Anybody have an idea on what the first step should be? Because there's a couple ways you can actually do it, right? A couple ways you can actually do it. You can do, I see two different ways. I see maybe even distributing first or just dividing first. Because, right, we're trying to solve for x. So you just got to figure out what step you want to do. So which one do we think we should do first? Divide or distribute? Because I see like this -4, right? This -4 is out in front. I want to get rid of that -4. So there's a couple ways I can do that, right? I can take the -4 and distribute it, multiply both terms by -4. That might be a little longer going with it. The other way is I could probably just divide by -4 to get rid of that coefficient in the front. I think I might like that option better. So I'm going to go with that option because I think it'll help us get to the answer a lot quicker. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take both sides here, and I'm going to divide by -4. Right? That's exactly what I want to do. Divide by -4 because what happens is those end up canceling out. Right? That's perfect. That's what we want. Those have canceled out over there. I'm left with just the quantity 3 plus x. That's a nice, easy expression for us to solve, right? I think it's very easy for us to figure out, at least I hope, right? That's going to equal, well, x divided by -4. What is x divided by -4? Anybody have an idea? X divided by -4? I think x divided by -4 might be -2. So I'm working through this, right? Trying to get what x is. That's the whole point of solving an equation, right? Don't you love it when all the question says is solve equations? Okay, right? That sounds easy. Well, the goal is to isolate our variable. Isolate means we want to get our variable by itself. Well, this is how we can do it, right? I'm trying to get x by itself. I got 3 plus x. I don't want that 3 plus. How do I get rid of that plus 3? I think I need a -3 on both sides, right? And subtracting 3 on both sides is going to zero out that one right there, right? Those 3s, they're gone. I have now isolated our variable. We know what x equals. X equals -2 minus 3. If you struggle with negatives, there is no shame in using a calculator on your final, right? If your teacher lets you use a calculator, I know I let my students use a calculator, and you struggle with negatives, then just punch it in real quick. There's no shame. Only you and the calculator know what you're plugging in, right? So plug in -2 minus 3. It should end up with x equals -5. Okay? Just really want you guys to kind of get used to that, right? Just it's okay to rely on the calculator. Doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means that you need a little help with the calculator. Some people, they're quick with their math skills, right? They go like, oh, -2 minus 3 is -5. Some of y'all might need a little extra help. Use the extra help. Okay, that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's try B. And so I kind of want to throw this out to you guys. Okay, what should be my first step? What should be my first step here for B? Right, we have 21y equals -2 and times that quantity, 1 minus 10y. So here thinks they might have an idea on what I could do to get rid of that. Anybody have an idea? Right, I want to isolate my y variable here, right? That's the whole point. If it says solve, that means we need to get y by itself. But unfortunately, I see a y there. I see a y there. I'm going to need to be moving some y's at some point, right? I got to move the y's so that we can see exactly what y is. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a hint. I think what we need to do is we need to take care of this -2 out in front. I think our best option here is to distribute that -2 to both terms inside. Okay, we're going to distribute both terms inside, and we should be good there. So the left side is going to stay the same, that means, right? I'm just going to have 21y equals. Let's do the second part. So I have -2 times 1. Well, -2 times 1 is just going to be -2. And then I have -2 times -10y. Now that's a little more trickier, right? Because that means I got two negatives, right? -2 times -10y. Well, a negative times a negative definitely is going to turn into a positive. And then the 2 times the 10 gives us 20y. Okay, again, I know the tricky part with these is the negatives. The negatives are always going to be an issue. They're always going to trip you up a bit, but it's all good because you got this. How do this is my first time doing it live. It said to swipe right to see more comments and swipe left. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Hey, don't want to do that. Oh, okay. Interesting. This is the first time doing it live, right? All right, we're going to get back into it. So I'm trying to get y by itself. Well, I have 21 y's on the left side. I got 20 y's on the right side. I want to put my y's together. There's an easy way to do this. There's a not so easy way to do this. I think my best bet is to move those 20 y's from the left side, the right side, over to the left side. I think that's going to be our best bet here. I don't really want to move the 21y, right? I don't want to move that to this side because then I still got my numbers and my y's together. I don't really want that. I think what we need to do is we need to move this positive 20y over. And can I take rid of the highlighted? I don't think I can, but that's okay. We're going to subtract 20y on both sides. Now we're going to just do a little arithmetic, right? We have 21 y's, take away 20. So if I have 21 y's, take away 20, that is just one single y. Look what we just did. We isolated that variable. We are actually doing what the problem wants us to do. We know that we have y equals, well, what does it equal? It equals -2. Those zeroed out, we are done with that equation. Okay, that's the good part of recognizing which side you want to move the y's to. Had I decided to move, right, the 21 y's over to the right side, that would have gave me more work to do, right? And we don't want more work, right? Mathematicians, we're lazy. We want to get to the answer. That's the way we want to do it. Okay, that is awesome. Really, really good. Okay, we're going to keep moving with this. Like I said, the goal was to stream for an hour. Got some technical difficulties at the beginning. We're moving, though, but I'm trying to get you ready for your Algebra 1 final. It's coming. Some of you might be even taking it this week. My kids are taking it next week. So that's why I hopped on here. I'm trying to get them ready for their final because they got a lot to do. Got to make sure they pass it too. Alrighty, so look at this crazy mess here. This looks complicated, right? There's a lot going on there. But I promise you, it's not that bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by distributing. I see lots of distribution we can do. We have a 3 we have to distribute. And we have a positive 4 we have to distribute. So we need to take care of those. So I'm going to zoom in on this problem so we can kind of do it step by step. So I have 3 times x. 3 times x is going to give me 3x. I have 3 times -2. That's going to give me -6. keep zooming out so we can see. What do you guys think I'm going to put here when I distribute that positive 4? Take a second. Take a second and think. What is going to happen? I got to do 4 times x. I got to do 4 times 5. What am I going to write in this space? Let's see if you can type it out in the comments. Anybody know? I got Sadie 1323 saying 4x plus 20. Anyone agree with her? She's thinking that the 4 distributing is going to be 4x plus 20. I got, I can't read that name. This is my old 30-year-old eyes, you know. Nix is saying that he has 4x plus 20 as well. I think you guys absolutely have it right. It is 4x plus 20. We got to keep going, though, because there is stuff to the side. We still have 8x minus 3 to take care of. Okay, now, here's the part where I don't want to start moving stuff from left to right. Instead, I want to take care of combining like terms, right? I want to combine like terms so that we can make this left side here a little cleaner. So look here, I got 3x's and I got plus 4x's. What's that going to combine to? 3x plus 4x. How many x's should we end up with? If I got 3 on this, put in 4 more with it. Together we should have how many x's? Boom, I like it. 7 x's. Awesome. You guys are rock stars. That's awesome. 7 x's. Now let's take care of the constants on the left side, the numbers, right? We took care of the x's. Let's focus on the numbers now. Negative 6 plus 20. Again, if you struggle with negatives and your teacher lets you use a calculator on the final, use a calculator. There's nothing wrong with using a calculator. Like I said, only you and the calculator know what you're putting in there. So if you struggle with negative 6 plus 20, then put that in. Negative 6 plus 20. I think I see some good answers there in the chat. That's awesome. Negative 6 plus 20 is going to give us positive 14. That still equals 8x minus 3. Okay, so what we did is we combined our like terms. That is awesome. Really, really good. Okay, so now we want to get x by itself, right? Our goal is to move our x's from one side to the other. I have 7x's. I have 8x's. I need to move one over to the other side. Now, again, there is one easier way. There's one harder way. Which one do you think I should move? So that's what you can write out in chat. Should I move 7x over? Or should I move 8x over? Which one do y'all think that I should move? Because there's an easy one. I wouldn't say easy, but an easier, right? One of them is going to make a negative. The other one I move is going to keep it a positive. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm always trying to stay positive, right? We got to do it. Yeah, I'm seeing that. Let's move the 7x. That's exactly what we should do. Let's move that 7x. Let me get my highlighter marks off. Subtract 7x. Subtract 7x. Right? The ones on the left, 0 out. I'm realizing I did not give myself enough room here, but that's okay. We're going to have positive 14. I might be able to make it work. And then look what's really nice about this. 8x's take away 7x's. That's going to give you 1x. And you don't really got to write the 1, right? You could write 1x, but I'm just going to write x, right? So we have x. We got the minus 3. Okay, since I moved 7x's over to the right side, right? I moved my x's to the right. Now I got to take my numbers or my constants. I got to move them over to the other side. That means this negative 3, I need to add. Take a second to write that out in chat. What is x going to equal? As I zoom this up, right? We know those 3's are going to 0 out. So we're left with x equaling. Look at me sneaking it in up there. Little tiny space. Yeah, x is going to equal 17. You guys are crushing it. That is so good. So good, right? And that's, like I said, this problem looks complicated. And I agree. I looked at this and I was like, ugh, what a mess, right? But y'all got it, right? We go through it and look, we're distributing, right? That's the first step. Distribute that. Combine your like terms. Move your x over. Move your numbers over. You got x by itself. You got it. All righty. Let's keep wheeling with this. All right, we got letter D here. We are almost done with this guy. Let me zoom it up so we can see that. There we go. Letter D is right there. We want to solve this out again. I see some distribution needing to happen. I think I got to distribute this 3 to both terms. Go ahead and take a second. What's that left side going to turn into? All right, what am I going to write on this left side? That's a great question. Can I do a geometry final? I am actually doing a geometry final tomorrow at the same time. I don't know what time zone you're in. I'm Pacific time, but I'm doing 7 to 8. 7 to 8 Pacific time for East Coast. Oh, I can do math. I'm a math teacher. That would be 10 to 11 on the East Coast. But tomorrow I'm doing geometry. Thursday I'm doing Algebra 2. And if you need more geometry videos, I actually have a YouTube page full of math tutorials. I got a whole section dedicated to geometry. I taught geometry for 4 years. This year they were like, we just need you for algebra, so I'm only on Algebra 1. But there's lots of videos there too. I can post a little link in there for you. Yeah, awesome. All right, what's this left side going to turn into? I distribute that 3. 3 times x, 3 times 9. What's 3 times x, 3 times 9 going to give me? What's this left side going to turn into? I was kind of trying to fill the void there. Or did someone answer? I didn't even look. I got to look through this chat. No, I don't think anybody answered. 3 times x and then 3 times 9. Ooh, I don't know about 30x. Let's do the first part. What is 3 times x? Well, 3 times x is going to give us 3x. Right? Now do 3 times 9, right? 3 times the 9, that's going to give you 27. Be careful. We can't combine 3x and 27 to 30x's. And maybe I'm thinking that's might have been what you did. All right, it's all good. But we can't do that because 3x and the 27, those are two separate things. I can't combine those. Can't combine my x's and my numbers. Right? So we're actually just going to leave those separate. 3x plus 27. Okay. Well, someone asked a good question too. Do I have Algebra 2 videos? I actually don't. I've never taught Algebra 2. Now I know Algebra 2, right? I know how to do it. I went to college. I have a math degree, but I've never actually taught Algebra 2. But I am going to do a final review on Thursday. I got a review packet. I'm going to go over it. Hopefully it helps you guys out. One day, if I ever have free time, I will make some Algebra 2 videos, but not in the time, anytime in the present. All right, that's awesome. So now look on this right side. We have 5. And be careful for this one. This one's going to be a little tricky, right? I got to distribute that -6. So this one's going to require a little more work for you, right? I got to distribute -6. So help me out. What am I going to write in this space here? I got to do -6 times x and then -6 times -2, right? That negative out front is the subtraction symbol, but we got to carry that with us as we distribute. Just like with the 3, there was nothing there. If there's nothing there, it's technically positive. So we're moving that positive over. Okay. Ooh, Sammy, I like half that answer. I like half that answer. Maybe you just forgot it when you typed it in. So I see -6 times x, right? -6 times x is going to give us -6x, right? And then, it's all good. -6 times -2, I figured we just forgot it. I see Rainey got it. -6 times -2 gives you +12 as I get off the page there. Yeah, that is good, right? Again, I already know. Like, again, I'm a math teacher, right? I get it. On the finals, I wouldn't say I'm trying to trick you, but I'm trying to make sure that I know you know how to handle negatives, right? And you got to know how to handle negatives. And what better way to show me than by doing something like that, right? Distributing a -6. Just double checking that we got that right. Okay. Alrighty. Before we start moving, right? Our first step is, are there any terms that we can combine? The left side, we talked about that already. I can't combine 3x and 27 because I have an x, I got a number. But on the right side, I think I can combine my constants, right? I have a 5 and I have a +12. What's 5 plus 12 going to become? Take a second to type that out, right? I still have the 3x plus 27. I want to combine the 5 and the 12, which means I can keep the -6x, but I'm trying to combine this stuff. Good question. Where's my Algebra 1 stuff located? If you click on the link in my bio, it takes you to my website, thatmathmagician.com. My whole brand, thatmathmagician.com. And when you go on the link tree, you'll see an Algebra 1. And for Gongo, you'll see a geometry. You click Algebra 1, you click geometry. It breaks it down by the chapters according to my book. Now, your book might be a little different, but I also give you the names of the chapter. So like there's trig, there's tangent, or there's graphing a line, right? You click on those, all my videos are there for free for y'all to watch. It started through the pandemic. I was bored at home. What else is a math teacher to do at home than just make some YouTube videos, right? All right, sorry, we got off track. I know. I don't know if you guys have realized yet. I be talking. I talk a lot. So if you get me on a tangent, I'm going to start talking. Anyway, -6 plus 17. Yeah. We got to get through this math. We are not going to get through this packet unless I stop talking. See, this is probably why I don't do lives. This is my first live, if I haven't told you yet. This is my first live. Normally when I'm recording, I can cut all this stuff out. All right, so again, I want to now move x's to one side, right? I got 3 x's here, -6 x's on the right. How am I going to move those around? Which one should I move is my question. Again, one's easier. One gets rid of a negative. Should I move the 3x or the -6x? Ooh, good question. Do I have some on tangent and sine and cosine? I do. Even on my TikTok page. Go on my TikTok page and scroll. You'll find some tangent videos there. Yeah, I think we should add the 6x. I like that. So we're going to take this, and we're going to add 6x. Add 6x. The reason why, we get rid of the negatives, right? We got to get rid of negatives. We're tired of negatives. Awesome. No worries, Gone Go. I hope that helps you out. 3x's plus 6x's is going to give us 9x's. We're still adding 27, and it equals 17. Now, since I added the 6x over, right? I took it from this side, moved it over to the left side. Now I got to take care of this 27, right? I got x almost by itself. I think now I need to subtract 27. And I'm realizing I did not give my students enough space. Yes, we're going to subtract 27, but I did not give them enough space. What a terrible, terrible teacher, right? So we're going to go ahead and do a little arrow. We're going to move it this way. Right? And we're going to have to shift it over here. Now, I still got the 9x. Hopefully, you guys can still see. I know that's getting a little wonky now. The 27s cancel. They zero out. And I'm left with 17 minus 27. Right? 17 minus 27. That's going to give us a value of -10. I'm going to zoom in on this. My students are taking their final tomorrow. I posted the link on Remind. That's awesome. Yay, I'm so happy. You know, I started my YouTube page just for my kids, and it's kind of grown. So it's been really awesome to help out other students. So that's really, really cool. And you passed Algebra 1. That's awesome, Jody. Nice job. All right, someone break out a calculator to help me out because we almost got this problem done, right? I'm trying to get x by itself. Right now there's 9 x's. I only want 1 x, so I need to divide by 9. Help me out. What is -10 divided by 9? Okay, -10 divided by 9. Oh my God, what is happening in my chat? I just realized. Dang, is that my first troll? This is what a night of first. It's my first live, and I get my first troll. That's awesome. I feel like I made it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you ever help with CBEST math? That's a good question. I don't. I never have. I could, maybe. Sounds fun. I just never did it. Maybe I'll look into that. I'm always down to help out fellow educators get through here. Awesome. Yes, and yeah, what happens? We get a repeating decimal. -1.111. Yeah, it's repeating forever. That's just how it's going to happen. You got it good. Yeah. Awesome. All right. We're going to shift away from these solving equations part. You guys are doing really good. And we're going to move on. And yeah, actually, I liked what someone said. Someone said to leave it as -10/9. It honestly depends on your teacher, right? If this was actually my class, I would say don't ever write a repeating decimal. No, boo. Fractions are your friends. I want that as your final answer. But your teacher might want decimals. And unfortunately, you got to go with your teacher's preference, right? But that's awesome. Really, really cool. All right, let's go ahead and shift gears because now we have a systems of equations. And it's actually asking us, I thought I was showing the question, but I'm not. Here's the first one. And it's asking us to figure out which method to use, right? We want to solve systems of equations. For people who forget what systems of equations are, that's when I have 2 lines and I want to find out where they intersect, right? That's all systems of equations are. You got 1 line, you got another line. You want to see where they intersect. So those are 2 equations there. 2 equations for 2 separate lines, and we need to find the point of intersection How could we do this? I hear elimination method. I don't know. I mean, we could do elimination method here. It might work. I think there might be another way we could do it. And yeah, I was going to say, I think substitution might be a little easier here, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Elimination method can work here. It's just going to be a little messy, right? But here's why substitution method is the best method to use here. Because we know what x equals. X equals negative 2y plus 6. But x also equals 3 minus 4y. So since I know what x equals, right? Both those things equal x, right? Negative 2y, I'm going to write this down real quick. Negative 2y plus 6 and 3 minus 4y, they both equal x. Well, if they both equal x, then that means that these two expressions have to equal each other. You guys got it. I see it in the comments. You guys are kicking butt. Look at me getting like over 300 people watching me on my live right now. That's crazy. My first ever live. We're doing good. Someone said do AP Calc A or AP Calculus AB. I ain't the one for that. I mean, I can do it. I just haven't made any videos. It's been about 10-ish years since I've done calc. It'd be a little rusty. Who else is in 8th grade? That's awesome. I never taught 8th grade. I definitely have only taught high school, but you guys are doing good. Okay, so now, guys, just what we were doing, right? Let's solve for y, right? We need to solve for y. So how are we going to solve for y? I got to move one y over to the other side. How should we be doing? I see some of my students in there. Get out of here. All right. Whoa, how did I get that on? What the? Okay. All right, so yeah, I want to add terms, right? I think I need to, right? Again, you can do two ways. Which way should I do it? Should I move the negative 2y over, or should I move the negative 4y over? Right? There's really no wrong way. Again, what's the path of least resistance? What's the easiest way to get there? I think moving the 4y, right? Yeah, if I add the 4y on both sides, man, look what happens. First of all, those zero out. We always like it when stuff zeroes out, right? That goes away. I just have 3 on the right side. Still got my plus 6. And now negative 2 plus 4y is going to be... Waiting for the chat to catch up. What's negative 2 plus 4y going to be? How many y's? Boom, 2 y's. And I see some of my students hiding out there. I see you. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. All right, but no, this is the whole point. Although some of the students that I see are in geometry. So you should come tomorrow. If you haven't heard yet, tomorrow is the geometry day. Today's the Algebra 1 day. So if you want to come tomorrow for the algebra, that's what I'm saying. Matt's here. What the heck? Come tomorrow for geometry, Matt. You need it. Alrighty, what's my next step? How am I going to get y by itself? I see it. User with a bunch of numbers, right? We're going to subtract 6 on both sides. Yeah, subtract 6 on both sides. 2y is going to equal, right? The 6's 0 out. What is 3 minus 6 going to give us? I love how people who are taking calculus are in this live. It's good. I mean, calculus is just algebra on steroids. I don't know if you're doing this, though. I don't got no derivatives for you. Yep. 2y equals negative 3. Last step, divide by 2. And we're going to end up with y equaling negative 3 halves. Or you could say, whoops, my big head's blocking it. Or you could say negative 1.5. Yeah, either one's going to work, right? But it's negative. Don't forget that negative. Okay, Connor, I see 1.5. Maybe we forgot. Now, excuse me. We got to go back to what the problem was, right? The problem said we want to find the point of intersection, right? We're trying to solve for that point of intersection. Am I done, or did I forget something? Did I forget something? 'Cause I got the y. Am I done? Did I get the whole answer? Yeah, I got to get the x, right? I got to get the x. I'm not done yet. I only solved for y. I'm trying to find a point of intersection. A point of intersection always has an x. It always has a y. We know the y, right? So I'm going to go up here. I'm actually going to erase the y. I know that the y is negative 3 halves or negative 1.5. I have to find out my x. How do I find my x? Well, I'm going to zoom in real quick. Pick one of those equations. It doesn't matter which one. Pick one, plug your y in. We're going to get our x. So I'm going to ask you real quick. Which equation should I use? Again, I think one of them's easier than the others. If I got to plug in -3/2 into x, which one's a little easier? I mean, they're both kind of going to be fine. Yeah, I would say the top, right? I think the top is easier because we're multiplying by -2. The denominator is -2. Those are going to cancel right away. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. So let's do it real quick. Whoops, I wrote y equals. I want x equals. So -2 times my y plus 6. Notice, though, that I'm not writing my y because I'm throwing in what y is. Y is -3/2. Okay? And now watch the math magic that's going to happen. You ready? The -2, the 2, these 2s are going to cancel just to 1s. So I really just got negative of -3. So what does that turn into? Negative of -3? What is negative of -3? 2 negatives? I think that just ends up being, 3 plus 6. And 3 plus 6 is... Switching apps, going to the calculator. Yeah, it should end up being 9. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to zoom out to show that whole step. This is how you do the substitution method. And I saw someone say, can you explain all the methods? I certainly can. This is substitution. There's another name for this as well called equal values method. Basically, when you know what a variable equals, right? If I go back to the top there, I know what x equals. It tells me x is those two equations. When you know a variable, substitution is the one you want to do. Okay? If you don't know a variable, then it gets a little tricky. That's when we want to look at elimination as the other one. Yeah, that is really, really cool. All right, and if you need more help, go to my link in my on my bio, click on Algebra 1, and then there's one of the chapters is, I think it's chapter 4, is systems. Click on systems. I have so many videos on systems of equations. So many videos. Okay, I made them so to help you out. Okay, what was my major? It was math. It was technically mathematics in teaching. Like that was the actual thing. I knew I was going to be a math teacher. So that's why I did that. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. How much more time do I got? Look at my live. My live is sort of popping off here on TikTok. And I was going to end in like 7 minutes. So which one should I do next? I mean, do we want to stay on systems? Or do you guys think maybe we should switch it up to practice maybe some graphing? We could practice graphing a line. We could always also do some quadratic stuff. Quadratics are always fun. Oh, I saw some people say C. Do we want to do C of the systems? I'll go back to the systems. We want to do C real quick? Whoop, I see someone saying I need graphing. I'm telling you, you're going to get annoyed if you go to my YouTube page of how many videos I have on graphing. Okay, I see a lot of people popping off on graphing. No. We're going to switch to graphing. So, hey, if you guys need help with this is Elimination Method. Go to my YouTube page. Go to Elimination. You'll find so many examples like this. But let's do graphing, okay? So, again, real quick. Tonight is Algebra 1 review. If you're in geometry, come on over for geometry tomorrow at 7 o'clock Pacific time. Okay, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Come by. I will help you with geometry. Okay, look at someone like... I don't know how to even use this live thing. Anyway, all right, so we need to graph. I need to graph here. Also, can I be one of those people on the lives that always say like, go follow my account? Can you guys? I mean, that'd be dope. Right? Go follow my account. Follow my Instagram. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, we'll keep going. All right, let's practice graphing. Okay, I want to practice graphing real quick. So when we graph a line, I'm gonna go down here and make some notes. Graphing a line is mx plus b. Anyone remember what the slope is? Oh my God, I just said the word. Look at where my brain is. I was going to ask what m represents. M represents the slope. I'm a little slow now. All right, it's getting too late. This is why I got to log off at 8. What does the B represent? I'm just slipping here. See? B is the y-intercept. And I see my students in there. So for the people who aren't my students, who are just joining in, I kind of also do math raps on the side. I actually have a song called MX plus B, and it talks about how to graph a line through rap. I would say after this live, go check it out, because there's even a dance that goes with it. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much into it. Okay. All right, let's go over here. So what is my starting point for my graph? What's going to be the starting point or the y-intercept for this graph? Yeah, right? My -1 at the end, that's my B term. That's where I'm going to start. So we go on the y-axis here, right? The one going vertical up and down. I am starting at -1. So I go down -1, make a point. Boom, we're good. Our slope is 3/5. So how do I do 3/5? Ooh, be careful. I saw someone say go up 3/5. Which way am I going over? Am I going to the left? Am I going to the right? That's super important, right? Yeah, I think it's up 3, right 5. So we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Over 5. Make a dot. Some teachers want you to do this twice, right? To graph a line, you technically only need 2 points to make a line. But here I could go up 3 more, over 5 again. And then once you have those points, you get that ruler out. You line up those points, you graph the line, and don't forget, because I'm one of those teachers who will mark down points if you don't put arrows at the ends of your lines. Lines go on forever, okay? Lines go on forever. They don't stop. Oop, that way. They don't stop. So we got to make sure we go through it. Okay, let's see. How much time do I have? I have 3 more minutes. All right, you guys want to try one more graphing one? Did I do it wrong? Maybe I did do it wrong. No, I don't think I did it wrong. I think I did it right. Hopefully. Yeah. All righty. Let's do last one. Here we go for part B. Tell me, where am I starting on this one? Where am I starting on this one? I think my starting point on this guy is going to be +2. Yeah, so I got to go up 2. Now, this is what I usually do to my students. I mean, you guys are technically my students because I'm teaching, right? I'll usually throw this at them. And I'll say, okay, you said +2. That's +2 on the graph, right? I see that. That's both representing +2. You want to make sure that you know which one you're doing, right? It's up 2 for the starting point. We're not starting at x equals 2. We're starting at y equals 2. There's our starting point. Help me out with my slope. My slope is -1/3. So from that point, I have to go down 1, over to the right 3. I want you to remember slope like this, right? The top number, the numerator, that's your up and down. Positive goes up, negative goes down. The bottom number, you're always going to the right. You're never going to the left, okay? You could go left if you're doing a backwards thing, but then that gets a little tricky. Up and down for the top number, always to the right for the bottom number. All right, y'all are killing it. Down 1/3, down 1/3, down 1/3. We could do that so many times. I'm going to get my ruler out, line up those dots, and boom, we got our line with some arrows. I mean, graphing lines, I don't know if that really works for a live, but hey, I mean, it's kind of working. We'll see. All right. It is technically 8 o'clock, and I was going to stop today, but I'll do one more quick question for you. I want to let you know again that I'm doing Algebra 1 tonight review. Tomorrow is geometry review. So make sure you come back if you need some help with geometry. I got you, okay? I actually want to go back to this elimination problem because we definitely need to do this elimination problem. But I want to just make a quick correction because I always forget to change this every year. And I have my students do it every year because I'm lazy. And I've never gone into the Word doc. I got to make that a B. Yeah. All right. So I got to do elimination method. But to do elimination method, I got to figure out which one to solve for, right? I got to choose which variable I want to solve for, A or B. I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, which one should I solve for here? I don't, and for this one, I don't think there's one that's easy. Like easier than the other. I think we just got to pick one and stick with it, right? Like, because I mean, maybe there's one that's easier. I mean, if I pick one, I might not deal with like a negative as much, so that might be helpful. But I'm going to have to do elimination, right? My goal is going to be here to put a big plus sign, put a big equal sign. I want to add those together, but I want something to drop. I want the A's or I want the B's to drop. I'm seeing lots of people say A. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I want to do A. I think I want to do letter B. The reason why I want to do letter B is because the B on the bottom is already negative. The B on the top is positive. I think I want to go for B because they're already like so close to canceling out. All I have to do is take this equation and multiply it by 4. And if I do that, then I'm going to end up with B's that drop out. All right, help me out real quick. I got to multiply everything by 4. So if I multiply the A by 4, we're going to get what? What's that going to turn into if I multiply the A by 4? This isn't a trick question. Just making sure you guys are still on. Yeah, we're going to get 4A. And then I'm going to multiply the B by 4, and I'm going to get 4B. And what's that going to equal? What does this constant at the end turn into? Multiplying everything by 4, we got to get 40. Awesome. I saw someone say, why am I here? You're here because apparently you need Algebra 1 review. Is your final approaching? That's why I'm here. Here to help. I got you. All righty. Now I'm going to add our stuff together. Now, to start with the A's, I got 4 A's. I'm adding 3 to it. So how many A's do I have up there? 4 A's plus 3 A's is going to give us 7 A's. I saw someone already say it. The B's eliminate. That's why we call it the elimination method. They are eliminated. They are out of this equation. So it equals 40 plus 6. And what's 40 plus 6 going to give us? It gives us 46. And man, oh man, whoever made this review, they don't like whole numbers. Because, I mean, I'm just looking in the next step, right? What's the next step to get A by itself here? How am I going to get A by itself? I got to have to divide by, I see someone in the chat telling me, I got to divide both sides by 7. And like I said, someone here clearly hates whole numbers. Because 46 divided by 7, what is that? What is 46 divided by 7 going to be? I think it might be some nasty, like repeating decimal. Is it a repeat, or is it a nice number? Because I think it's irrational, right? I think it's going to go on forever, right? Yeah. So we'll round for this case. I'm seeing 6.6, 6.5, 6.4. Which one is it? Let me break out my calculator real quick. I got to go into my little thing here. Let's see. Get my calculator out. And if I do 46 divided by 7, it's definitely giving me a bunch of stuff. But we got to remember how to round. So if I'm going to just one decimal spot, that 7, I think, would make it about 6.6. Yeah. Hopefully your teachers on your final don't be giving you problems like this, man. Oy, man. And I need to make a better final review. My Lord, look at me giving all these irrational numbers. Okay, but we're good. So A is 6.6. Am I good? Did I solve this problem? Remember, this is systems of equations. Did I solve that out? I solved for A. Are we good? I am? I see people saying yes. Are we good? I solved for A. Or do I have to solve for? There we go. I got to solve for B, right? I got to get B by on its own. I haven't solved for B yet, so I need to figure out how to solve for B. Now you pick which equation to use, right? It doesn't matter which equation you want. Pick one, go with it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually get this original equation. Look how I just erased all that stuff, how I manipulated it. I'm going to get that first equation because that top equation is so easy for us. Look, it says A plus B equals 10. So watch what happens. I change that A to be 6.6. I have plus B, it equals 10. I want B by itself. So how am I going to get b by itself there? Yeah, I see people already got the answers. Subtract 6.6 on both sides, right? That's going to go away. And if I do the math right, I think it ends up being 3.4. Yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys killed it. What the heck? I hope this was helpful for the people who were tuning in. I did this because my students in Algebra 1 needed some extra review, so I said I will hop on and do this. I have lots of review videos, though, for you. So if you're struggling, I would say go to the link in my bio. It takes you to my website. It says Algebra 1. Click on Algebra 1. And I have so many videos on my YouTube page. You're going to get so annoyed. I also got some math raps. I ain't going to lie. I also made some math raps you can go check out as well. So go check those out. And I appreciate you coming in and hopping in on my live. I will say tomorrow is geometry. So if you need help with geometry, come by tomorrow. Okay? All right. It was super fun. This was my first live. I appreciate y'all coming through, all 500 of you. This was really fun. All right. You guys have a good night and keep studying math. You got it. I know you can do it. Bye, guys.